Well, good evening. Welcome to a very special edition of The Last Tackle. Elland Road, normally the home of Leeds United, but of course this weekend is the home of the Betfred Super League at the Magic Weekend.
He gets it away to Nicholson! Dazzling from Bevan French!
Yeah, what a season we're having in the Betfred Super League. The league table certainly at the top, looking more like a game of snakes and ladders than a rugby league ladder. But of course, all to play for. The top 8 all playing each other here at Elland Road this weekend. But we kick off on Saturday with a battle at the bottom, the London Broncos and Hull FC. Tom, it's been an interesting season for you guys, but a Magic Weekend, is it almost a kind of a free hit, if you like, big environment, big occasion, opportunity to kind of show yourselves for what you really are?
Yeah, I think that's how we've got to look at it. Obviously, with both teams at the bottom and the relegation isn't an issue this year, thankfully. We've just got to come here and enjoy the occasion. Hopefully, we've been the first game on Saturday. We can get a few fans in and have a good atmosphere here. And like you say, yeah, just enjoy it and hopefully put in a good performance.
You've played in plenty of Magic Weekends, plenty of big occasions in this city as well, obviously, with your time with Leeds. But is there a different feel to these? It's kind of halfway between regular league game and playoff game, isn't it?
Yeah, I love these events, you know, coming to the big stadiums in the big atmospheres. Like you say, I've been fortunate enough over the last few years to play in many games like that, and to keep having this event, I really enjoy it, and I think looking over the years, the fans are getting behind it and coming, and the atmosphere is incredible. So hopefully this year, you know, with it being right in the middle of all the teams, we'll fill the stadium. And
you mentioned there's obviously 2 teams towards the bottom of the table. London will keep you on your toes. We've seen with their recent performances that, you know, they're right in the games, even the ones that they're losing. Does that kind of edge give you guys a bit of extra motivation as well?
Well, it's got to. Like you say, they're going better at the minute, right in games, and for a period we were as well, and then we got a few bans and a few injuries, which has again knocked us backwards. But hopefully, to stay in the game is what we're after. Put in that performance for 80 minutes, and see where we end up then.
Big occasion, big venue, and you guys must feel like you're just picking up a little bit of form at exactly the right time to put a bit of a show on at Magic.
Yeah, hopefully, mate. We've been working really hard. We kind of had a reset, you know, a few months ago after a break. So, you know, we've been working really hard on the training paddock, particularly around resiliency in our defence. So I think that's been you know, cleaned up in our performances, and you can kind of see it on the field recently. So yeah, we'll be looking to take that into the weekend.
You've had a bit of a look around the venue. What do you make of it?
Yeah, it's a nice venue, mate. So hopefully everyone packs in here. It's a nice tight venue, so I'm sure it'll be a good atmosphere.
The way the fixtures have fallen, Hull FC obviously are right next to you guys in the league table. You must take some real confidence from the last 2 performances, and you go into this one not kind of too overconfident, if you know what I mean, but really satisfied with where you are.
Yeah, it's easy to hype this one up, isn't it? When we're both at the bottom of the table, fighting against each other. But you know, we're really trying, like you've mentioned just then, we're really trying to keep ourselves level-headed and just focus on the things that we've been working on off the field. And that's just being a little bit more resilient and working hard defensively. And we've got a few boys back as well, so yeah, we're definitely a little bit more confident in terms of the way we've been performing. But we've still got plenty to work on. But we just want to take that same mindset in that we've been bringing the last month or so.
So that's the first game here at Magic Weekend, Elland Road. And after that, 5 o'clock, we go from that battle of the bottom to one of the most famous rivalries in sport. Always a cracker, even more important this season with that top 6 looking the way that it is. Wigan versus St Helens should be an absolute belter. Tommy, Magic Weekend's always a big date in the calendar. This is a different venue for Magic, but it still has a bit of excitement around it, plenty of excitement around it, and of course you guys play the old enemy. It's setting up to be a really exciting game, isn't it?
Absolutely, it's as good as it gets, isn't it? Playing at a stadium with a capacity like this and seeing it packed out on a Magic weekend, and to add in our old enemy Wigan, yeah, it's going to be one hell of a game come Saturday. And I urge everyone to make sure they get down, and not only us, to watch a great weekend of sport and rugby league.
It's probably not unfair to say that you guys have done it tough at times this season, but Thursday night win, could that be a kind of line in the sand, a real kind of galvanising moment for you?
Yeah, we'd like to think so, but we're not resting on our laurels. We know you can win in sport, you can lose in sport. Just like Wigan have done it tough, and other teams are doing it tough as well. So yeah, we each week, it's a real cliche, but that's what we've got to do. We've got to take each week as it comes. We know we're building into them big games now. Like you said, when you get past them cup rounds and then into the later rounds of Super League, it's business end for us. And yeah, we're no stranger to big games and winning them. So yeah, we're really excited like everyone else come Saturday.
How important has it been to get a few bodies back? Alex Walmsley was kind of tearing up the metres on Thursday night. That must be, as a backline, it must be a real bonus kind of playing off that quick ball and that kind of momentum.
Yeah, absolutely. It's nice to see when you got a guy, like Alan, so much experience and also so much, positivity and chat around the place. He's just a good person to have around, and obviously he's half decent at rugby league as well, isn't he? So great to have him back, and yeah, hopefully we can get a few more bodies back before now and the end of the year, and make a real push on that Super League trophy.
The flip side of that is that the kids are all right as well, aren't they? How impressed have you been by some of those younger names making their name in the team?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one thing we've always done is produce great young players, and if you look across our team, if you look who's come up, the Jack Wellesbys of the world, Lewis Dodds, and then you look at Harry Robertson, Jake Burns. Yeah, we're in safe hands, aren't we? And it's good for us older boys as well, then pushing us through and bringing that extra bit of energy. So yeah, it's exciting. It's great to see, and it's a pleasure to play with them for sure. And yeah, come Saturday, I'm looking forward to seeing some of them run out for the first time.
Cruz, if Magic Weekend wasn't a big enough event, it's St Helens for you guys, and that kind of ever-changing bunny-hop nature of the race for top spot, it really is a big game, isn't it, this one?
Yeah, I think they all are. See how close it is at top at table for everyone. I think every game we play is an hard game, tough one. But yeah, St Helens Magic Round, it's going to be a big game.
I think it's going to have a little bit of a feel of almost a kind of quarter-final, semi-final with the crowd and what's rested on it for both sides. You've been in plenty of those firefights, plenty of those big games already this season. Will that help you on Saturday?
I think it's just good as a team that, obviously off back of last week, disappointing loss, they're just coming round thick and fast. And at Wigan, like every game's a massive game, and these big venues to play at, big occasions. This is going to be packed out. It's just a great way to get straight back to what we know we can do as a team and get back out there playing. I think it's just, we couldn't have picked a better fixture really after the week we've just had.
Yeah, I think it's going to be pretty rowdy in here on Saturday night. Big crowd expected on Saturday especially. You must relish these events regardless of what's on the line, just to play in front of those environments.
Yeah, 100%. I think it just shows where the sport's at as well. I think to have all the fans sitting amongst each other together, there's not many sports you could do that at, to enjoy the spectacle that we're going to put on. And it's just a really proud moment for the players to be able to see that the fans enjoying themselves, all being together, inclusive. And it's a massive occasion for like you say, you're going to have more fans there than you would do normally because you've got everybody else's team's fans there. So it's a massive occasion for the lads that are playing it. And you're right, it does feel like, a cup game or a semi-final. And they're the games that you want to play in from being a young lad.
Well, one of the beauties of Magic Weekend being it's just this a little bit later in the season is that every game just seems weighted with a bit more significance. And the last game on Saturday is the perfect example. Leeds at Elland Road, of course, in their home city, backed by a big crowd, looking to back up that magnificent win against Wigan and strengthen their playoff credentials against the Warrington team, looking to win the League Leaders' Shield and who knows, finally make it their year. Let's hear from both camps ahead of the headline act on Saturday, Warrington Wolves and Leeds Rhinos. Cameron, Magic Weekend, as soon as it was named as being at Elland Road, was always going to be a big weekend for you guys, but does it feel like it's come at the perfect time off the back of that performance and a real opportunity to kind of kick on for the rest of the year?
Yeah, it's come at a real good time, and I look forward to the Magic Weekend every year. I feel like the concept's amazing, to see all the teams play at the same stadium. It's makes it a little bit sweeter that it's at Elland Road, and Headingley is not too far away. So, the Leeds people will be down supporting us, I suppose, and make it feel like a home game.
Yeah, it will be obviously as good as a home game for you guys. I guess a real opportunity to create another special moment with the supporters and put in a big performance. And as we say, 6 or so rounds left. They all count at this point.
Yeah, they all count, mate. And like you said, it's come at a good time. We've put together a few strong performances of recent and not come up with the result, but we had a real good win on Saturday and gives us plenty of momentum and confidence heading into this week.
And these big games, as we kind of come towards the business end of the season, is there almost a sense of this kind of might just give you that bit of extra steeliness as well, getting involved in these things, that little bit of extra scrap to it, that you can use that for the rest of the year?
Yeah, definitely. You know, it almost has a little bit of a playoff feel, doesn't it, here when you play at Magic Weekend, because there's that many people here and the atmosphere's a little bit different. But yeah, you're right there. The Leeds fans will definitely get behind us, and I think there'll be a lot of neutrals as well that are cheering us on.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of noise kind of coming from those Leeds fans behind you. Is that almost like having extra fuel in the tank when you've got that behind you?
Yeah, and you know they're really good at home as well, so you know they'll be even better here at such an amazing occasion. I'm really looking forward to hearing them cheer us on.
Magic Weekend is always a big occasion. The kind of state of the league table and the fact that the top 8 are all playing each other adds to that even more. You must be real kind of spring in your step this week, ready to go.
Yeah, really excited. I think this is one that I always look in the calendar and look forward to. I think, like I said, most games mean something. If not every game matters at the moment, especially for us as Warrington. We're chasing the top 2 and we're hunting them down. So massive game for us on the weekend against a good Leeds team.
There's a real kind of snakes and ladders sense to the top of the table at the moment. I know you'd much rather it be plain sailing, but does that give you a kind of extra sense of satisfaction, enjoyment being in these kind of title scraps?
100%. You want to be there right at the top, which we are at the moment. But like I say, as you know, if you have a couple of bad weeks, you soon drop down the ladder. So, but for us, it's keeping concentration. We've got 6 games left, and it's about building momentum now for the back end of the year, for the big games, playoffs, and hopefully finals. It
must be really nice for you guys to kind of pay back the supporters. Obviously, a frustrating couple of years leading into this, but it does really feel like you've kicked on in 2024.
Yeah, it does. We've been building. We obviously got beat in the Challenge Cup final, but I think that was a good lesson for us as a group. A lot of lads had not played in the final before, so even though we lost on the day, I think that'll benefit us going forward and make us more hungry to win at the end of the year. So yeah, the fans, they're travelling numbers. We played London on the weekend; they was there in numbers, and yeah, they'll be here again on Saturday.
Is a big game like this almost perfect dress rehearsal for what might be to come with playoffs and maybe grand finals on the horizon?
Well, that's the plan. Yeah, hopefully a sellout, 30,000 here, and that's what it's like I say, in the big games, finals. So. As players, you want to be involved in the biggest occasions, biggest atmospheres, and this is certainly it.
Well, we're in the home dugout here at Elland Road, usually the office of Daniel Farke, of course, but 6 Super League clubs taking over this weekend. The other 6, of course, just in that away dugout down the way. And day 2 kicks off with a fascinating encounter. Leopards just starting to show a little bit of form. Salford Red Devils right in that mix for the top 6 and of course the top 4 as well, and those home semi-finals always seem to throw up a really entertaining 80 minutes of rugby league, these two teams. Let's hope we get that again. And then it's got a real big game feel, isn't it, the weekend? Obviously Magic Weekend's special anyway, but with the state of the league table, the top 8 all playing each other, the form you guys have been in, what you might be able to achieve this season, it will just kind of bruise up into a perfect storm, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's exciting time having Magic Weekend, especially at an awesome ground like this. And the finals are coming up with Leeds and Leigh fighting tooth and nail to get a spot in it. We're fighting. Everyone's so close at the moment. There's a few teams drawn on the same points. So I think it's a must-win game for us and for Leigh. So I think it'll be a crunching game for us.
Tough one to take on Thursday. You can still take a lot of positives out of that performance, can't you?
Yeah, I think a bit more strength side of St. Helens. I think they played well. We played well, and they got us at the end. But I think it was a great game, and we learned a lot from it. And now we've got a few days off to rest the body and recover and go again.
You look like you're really enjoying your rugby league in this Salford side, especially.
Yeah.
That's that yellow kit.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been great. I think coming to Salford, joining the team, the boys have been nothing but welcoming. The coaching staff have been helpful, and they've given me a chance to express myself on the field. I think that's the best thing for me. The more I can get my hands on the ball, the better I play.
Salford and Leigh have a history of throwing up really good, entertaining, free-flowing games. You kind of expecting more of the same?
Yeah. I think a lot of ball will be thrown around if the weather's good, the sun's out. I think it'll be a great game. A lot of good tries. So I think it's an exciting time, and I think we'll bash each other up the middle because it's a must-win game for both of us.
Yeah, does it come at kind of the perfect time in the season? 6 or so rounds left, very much in the hunt for top 6, maybe even top 4. Is this kind of the big event that you need, just as a bit more of a springboard?
Yeah, I think if we can finish this back end of these last 6 games strong, we can really make a dent and get to hopefully the top 3, hopefully the top 2 if we can fight for it, and just see how we go at the moment. And also it's crucial if we don't win as well. So the ladder's so tight at the moment, so we've got to really be careful at the moment.
Elland Road, obviously the scene of Magic Weekend this year. You've had a bit of a look around. What your thoughts? Getting excited for it?
Yeah, it's mega. Honestly, the stadium it looks class, and the pitch playing here, I can see it can be a really fun day out for everyone.
Leigh and Salford have a history of serving up really entertaining games. 2 teams that always have a real crack at each other when you get together. You must be ready for more of the same.
Yeah, it is. I think both teams, they really like to express themselves in attack and play some good rugby. So, I think there's going to be plenty of that on show and defence to back that up. So I think it should be a good game.
It's been a bit of a kind of strange season for yourselves, I guess, a bit up and down. But do you feel like this big stage might be the thing to really bring out the best in you?
Yeah, that's it. It probably didn't start off the way the club wanted to at the beginning of the year, but we're hitting some form now, so I think they just want to take that week by week, and there's no better week to do it than this weekend.
You'll be well back. Leigh fans tend to turn up to these things in numbers. Does that make a difference, especially on these big stages?
Yeah, 100%. When we're at home, they make so much noise, and the away support, it's the same with that. So I'll be expecting the same turnout from the Leigh fans. They love the club and they love us boys, and it's reciprocated across the club. So yeah, I think they'll turn out in numbers.
It's a bit of a funny one, Magic Weekend. It's got a kind of festival feel to it, but also it kind of feels like almost a playoff-like game because of the setting and the environment, big crowds. What's it like to play in?
Yeah, it's a sort of game, that us players want to play. It's on everyone's calendar at the beginning of the year. Like you said, for everyone, for players, fans, clubs, it's a big day for everyone involved. Everyone gets together and we're playing under the same roof, and you get to watch some rugby and meet everyone, and it's a really good day for everyone. So yeah, it's something that we always look forward for.
We're running out of games this season. We know how well Salford are going now. How big a scout would it be at the weekend to kind of make a point against them?
Yeah, that top 6, top 8, is really tight. So all the points matter, and even going down to points difference. So 2 points this week for us. Yeah, that's what we're coming here to take.
So much sporting heritage and history in this ground, and it's going to be packed out across the weekend. And one of the teams that would, of course, travel in numbers, Hull are having the season not quite of a lifetime, but there is so much potential for it to be a real magic year for the Robins. They take on the Catalan Dragons, still hanging in there, still in the fight for the playoffs. That middle game on Sunday afternoon should be another belter, as we've said, all of the top 8 playing each other across the weekend. I think that playoff picture will look a little bit different on Monday morning, and this game will have a lot to say in that. Elliot, this will be the battlefield at the weekend for a big game for you guys, but actually the way you guys have been going and what's at stake, they're all big games.
Yeah, definitely. Every week's a big game. No game's more important than the other one, and it's the next one at a time. And yeah, we've got a massive game on Sunday against Catalan, team that have beaten us twice this year. So yeah, it's a very big game. It'll be a big test, but great arena for it. Just walking out here, it's a really special place, and looking forward to it.
I know you won't be patting yourselves on the back just yet, but is there a satisfaction around the group with kind of how you've gone and where you're sat at the moment?
Yeah, we're happy where we are, but you don't win anything in August. There's a realisation of that as well. There's no doubt about it. We're in a really good spot, but no one lands out trophies in August, and you don't win any medals. So we've got loads of work to do. That's the best thing. I don't think we're playing full potential yet. I think we've got loads to work on from the other night, especially. I think we left a few tries out there on Friday night against Castleford. So yeah, plenty of belief, but we're not happy where we are.
Obviously, Magic Weekend, a constant fixture in the calendar for years, but you've been involved in playoff games, semi-finals, all of that kind of thing. Does this big game environment almost feel like kind of ideal preparation for what might be to come towards the end of the year?
Yeah, definitely. I think probably every single game for us now will feel like a playoff game. We've got some really big games coming up, big tests, and playing at a neutral ground definitely adds a bit more spice to it, I think. And really looking forward to it. I think it's a good venue, new venue for Magic Weekend, and I'm looking forward to being a part of it.
You'll be well backed. I'm sure there's plenty of Hull fans already with their tickets in hand. How much of a difference does that make, especially on this stage?
Yeah, I think we're always well backed wherever we go, home and away, and I saw something that we're second in the ticket sales, so hopefully we get a big following. I'm sure we will, and they'll be loud and proud like they always are. And yeah, it really does help. As players, we appreciate the support, and it helps, especially in the bigger games where it's pretty tough and tight. Your fans tend to get you over the line, so our fans are unreal. So looking forward to seeing them all out here on Sunday.
It's a decent sized track. It's immaculate underfoot. We'll wait and see what the weather's doing at the weekend, but should suit you guys down to a tee, shouldn't it, conditions wise?
Yeah, well, I think it's obviously going to be good conditions, but both teams, Catalan like to throw the ball around. They're very physical up top, through the middle, but we've also got some flair players as well who like to throw the ball around. So yeah, you could say the same thing for both teams. It's going to be a really good game. Looking forward to it, and it always is against them. It's very tough, so yeah, looking forward to it.
A big game this, obviously a frustrating one for yourself on the sidelines, but a big stage for a really significant game and potentially a story of your season.
Yeah, look, especially at the pointy end of the season now when, those 2 points are very important every game. So, the boys have been prepping really well. They'll be coming over here a day earlier just to sort of acclimatise and get used to the ground, but I know they're up for it.
It's been a strange old season for you guys, but you're still in the hunt. You're very much still in the battle for semi-finals and beyond. Are you is the fact that you've hung in there testament to the group that you've got?
Yeah. Look, there's been some games there that we've dropped and we've been really disappointed with, but there's some games where we really hung in and gritted out a win. So that just goes to show how much sort of mental resilience that the team's got, and moving forward to the pointy end of the season, that'll pay off dividends. But we've got to make sure we're going out there and executing our plans. Some weeks we do it, and some weeks we don't, and that's probably been one of the most frustrating things. But if you look back at our season, the players that we've lost through, long injuries, obviously suspensions play a big part. But with those suspensions and injuries comes opportunity for other players to get exposure and get some time out in the field.
How important, because these big games, almost like playoff, semi-final, final dress rehearsals, these ones, especially with Magic Weekend being that slightly bit later in the season.
Yeah, look, I'm really excited to see, the atmosphere that this place creates on a pretty cool weekend. I played in a lot of Magic rounds in the NRL, but I've never played one over here. So I'm excited to get here and just sort of experience the whole feel of this place. And I know the boys are too. They've been grinding away. They spent last week here in England as well. And then, like I said, we're coming over a bit earlier before the game on the weekend, and then we'll stay another week.
Was playing in these kind of historic grounds and slightly different grounds to what you have in Australia kind of part of the appeal of coming over?
Yeah, definitely. Playing at grounds like this, but speaking to both my brothers that previously played in the Super League, they said that I'd enjoy the crowds, and it's one thing that I appreciate, especially the French crowd, but the English crowd as well. I've noticed that throughout the games, they just keep singing or chanting or doing something, whereas in the NRL they sort of hold off until something happens, a slight break or a try, and then they'll cheer. Whereas the Super League fans, they're pretty steady and consistent and consistently loud throughout.
Yeah, so much significance, as we've said, throughout the upcoming Magic Weekend in that playoff picture. We round off the weekend with two teams not quite in the frame, but two teams desperate to show that they have plenty to offer. Cass, of course, the Tigers, plenty of improvement from them throughout the year. Huddersfield, they've shown glimpses of what they can do. The pressure's off for both sides, so maybe, just maybe, they'll round off the weekend with a proper thriller. Alex, Elland Road, battleground for the weekend, something a bit different. Magic Weekend's always one of the best weekends in the calendar, but do you get a sense of excitement stepping out here and seeing it?
Yeah, mate, it's always an exciting weekend. It's a little bit of a change, obviously not been at St James's Park, but I'm really excited to play here. It's a great stadium, even though I'm a Wednesday fan myself. So it's going to be a good occasion. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, you mentioned you're a Wednesday fan. Are you kind of putting that to one side and just allowing yourself to lap this up?
Yeah, a little bit. I don't like walking around and seeing all Leeds United badges, but we'll just have to put up with that and crack on with it.
What's the mood like around you guys at the moment? Because the improvement from the first kind of 2-3 months of the season is there for everyone to see, and you must feel like you're competitive in every game you play.
Yeah, look, it's a little bit up and down. Obviously, we've shown potential in some games and managed to find some wins. We're still nowhere near the finished article. We've got a long way to go. I think when you do start to find that momentum and then you lose it again, it's a little bit frustrating. But we've got a bit of a transition phase going on where we've got to sort of look forward and try and focus on the positives and take each week at a time. So obviously there's not much to play for this year, just pride and just betterment of performances. But yeah, hopefully we can get a couple of good wins together before the end of the year.
You mentioned that kind of transition thing. Can you see that transition happening? Can you see the kind of progress within that transition process from day one of pre-season to now?
Yeah, look, we had a lot of inexperience in the squad at the start of the year, and when you come in pre-season, I think you don't know what to expect fully from your squad. I think that was probably evident in the first couple of games. I think we went 0 from 5, and we probably just struggled a little bit around some sort of experience areas. But I think the more that this squad starts to play Super League and the more it starts to mature, you combine that with some of the senior players in the squad that are sort of helping the young players through, and it's quite an exciting place to be. And I think in a couple of years, once all these players are ready and have played a couple of years Super League under the belt, then it could be an exciting place to play.
And in terms of that experience and that growth, obviously it's not a semi-final, it's not a knockout game, but Magic Weekend always does have a little bit of a different feel, that kind of big game feel to it. How much are those experiences kind of crucial to that development to those players as well?
Yeah, they're massive. You learn week in, week out how to play and what's going on, and this certainly helps with that. It's a big crowd, it's a big occasion, and for players that have never played in front of that before, it's obviously a great experience. So I think it's another string to people's bows, and I think once you've done it once, you can sort of fall back on them experiences and learn from that, and hopefully we can put ourselves in a position where we're in some big games in the future.
So you've had a bit of a look around the venue, an iconic place certainly in this country. How excited are you to get out there at Magic Weekend?
Yeah, very excited. I've been quite lucky to play here before. 2022 I think it was, against KR in the semi-final, so it is a good venue. Obviously it's quite close to the field, isn't it? So I think you definitely hear all the fans in the background. So like you said, a great venue. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be an exciting weekend.
It's been an up and down season for yourselves. Does this almost feel like a bit of a free hit, an opportunity to go out there and put on a really good performance in front of your fans?
Yeah, definitely. I think the last couple of weeks we've actually been playing better than what we have, and I think we kind of look like a team, which is most important. So, we're playing for a bit of pride now. It's nice to get wins here and there, as we haven't got many this year. So, Cass are probably in the same situation. They've had a couple of good performances, a couple of good wins recently. So I think, it's going to be an exciting game.
How important is it? We've got 6-7 weeks left of the season. How important is it to you guys to kind of lay the foundation for what's to come and finish on a real high?
Yeah, I think it's important. I think with Robert's give opportunity to a couple of young fellas to play. And I think some of them have actually stood up and performed. So, like you said, we're at that point in the season where we probably, a bit too far from the playoffs. So it's, I think just getting around each other, enjoying it, and playing the best we can. And obviously, Magic Weekend, entertain the fans. That's why it's called Magic. So, it'll be a great occasion.
Yeah, you've played in a few Magic Weekends now at various different venues. What's it like to play in as an event? Has it got a bit of a kind of festival, carnival feel to it?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, that's why they do it, and to get all the teams playing here, brings the fans together, shows how good our game is on TV, and obviously being here. So, it is a great atmosphere. It's quite loud. So yeah.
Well, best of luck of the weekend, mate.
Cheers, pal. Thank you.
So there we have it. The stage is set. 2 days, 6 Betfred Super League fixtures, 1 iconic venue and a hugely significant weekend in the story of this season. We are all set for an unforgettable weekend of rugby league. We're ready for some magic.